What is going on, everyone? My name is Jared Haas, and welcome back into another edition of NASCAR Mailbox. This weekend, we're going to take a look back at the action at Daytona International Speedway. Now, safety has been a big topic these past few weekends in the next gen cars, with the Michael McDowell car catching air in the corner and Josh Berry flipping on the back straightaway in a similar fashion to Corey LaJoie last weekend at Michigan. But I want to talk about another safety issue that I saw at Daytona, not involving a car flipping, but a policy that NASCAR has in place, the damaged vehicle policy. In the NASCAR Xfinity Series race, Austin Hill had to start from the rear of the field and was involved in a lap one wreck. Hill was on the DVP clock, which basically gives you an allotted amount of time to make the repairs. And if you meet minimum speed, it's like the DVP clock never happened. So Austin Hill was thrashing hard to make sure he met the DVP clock. It didn't expire on him, so that way he's able to continue and pass cars as they fall out of the race. Remember, Austin Hill is in contention to get playoff points, the top 10 for the championship for the postseason. So every point matters. You know, a position or two could affect how many points he gets going into the playoffs, and we've seen how few points can affect a difference between a season of advancing to the championship or not. So every point matters in this situation. And Austin Hill, trying to make sure that he stays on track, the car was vibrating so bad up to speed when they went back to green that he couldn't even breathe in the car. That is not a good situation right there when a driver is risking, you know, their life to just make sure, oh, I met minimum speed so I can take it to the garage. And more or less defeats the purpose of the DVP clock. You just had the extra step of meeting minimum speed. You've just got this situation here of they're just thrashing a car together again. And we've even seen it in the past where some debris off of a car causes a caution. And guess what? It's from that damaged vehicle. So it's not a clear cut solution to understandably try to get rid of these damaged vehicles that are in the way sometimes, especially at super speedway racing. But you've got to give it a little bit more leeway to make sure everything's fine to give them that chance to go minimum speed. Honestly, minimum speed is just the best policy to get rid of these wrecked cars. Because at the end of the day, if they're too wrecked, they're going to be too slow. And NASCARs are going to realize that when they post a time that's greater than 56 seconds. So that policy in place of minimum speed is enough of a deterrent to be a damage vehicle policy. We don't need this extra time to have a green flag lap and risking safety of where a driver can't even breathe trying to complete one lap and then just take it back to the garage. And Austin Hill gained a few points with drivers dropping out in the race. So this is not the way to go, trying to make sure damaged vehicles are out there because it happens in all these races, especially Daytona. And we just do not need to risk putting people out there with damaged cars and trying to meet a minimum speed before having a chance for the team just to look over and make sure everything's right to give it that one shot to meet minimum speed. And now this next question comes from Alex B53. They ask, do you think Josh Berry will be more successful next season? In my opinion, he's improved so much this season. Well, Josh Berry is going to be going to the team that just won this past weekend in Daytona, the Wood Brothers, for the 2025 season. And if you look at Josh Berry this season, he's had an okay season, 2 top 5s and 4 top 10s, where you compare Harrison Burton in his 3-year tenure with Wood Brothers, he's only had 2 top 5s and 6 top 10s. So there's a little bit better baseline with Josh Berry coming aboard. Also, he has a better average finish compared to any of the years that Harrison Burton has raced at Wood Brothers. So I expect an improvement in the 21 teams category, but they have not been, I would say, trailblazers. Interesting enough, if you look at the seasons, the person with the best average finishing position in a Wood Brothers car since 2016 is Matt DiBenedetto in 2020. Consistency is key, but as mentioned, Josh Berry, he's had 6 DNFs to wrecks. So a little bit more chaotic, which is going to bring the average finish down. But I think, again, he has improved. And you saw that this past weekend at Daytona, one of the stronger cars before being flipped out of the lead, more or less. So my prediction with Josh Berry's season is that he'll be better than Harrison. I don't think by too much. I think he'll land between like 2016 Ryan Blaney to Harrison Burton. So I say 2 top 5 finishes and 8 top 10 finishes with an average finish around 19.5, give or take. I think that's about the expectation I have for Josh Berry. Obviously, there's room for improvement. It's only his second year. But again, it takes time nowadays for drivers to feel acclimated and feel comfortable in the situation. Plus, you got Josh Berry joining a new team. How will the chemistry affect the performance of the team? So, expectations, I would say, like I said, as long as he improves on what he's been doing this season, I think they'd be happy. I mean, they gave Harrison Burton 3 years to compete and with an average finish below 22. This is Josh Berry's time and moment, and I think he'll seize it and make steady gains in the number 21 car. Thank you very much for watching. As always, like and subscribe. That really gets our content out to you guys. And until next time, as always, make sure to have a great race weekend.
Hi, I'm Christopher DeHardy with FrontStretch.com. If you enjoyed what you just saw, hit the like button and subscribe for some more great racing content.